doubling down on speed means doubling up and even tripling up on wins. Good Saturday morning to you. Welcome to Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live. Laptime Live is brought to you by Cocopah Casino, Racing Radio here on Outlaw Country, AM 1400. I'm your host, Mike Stanhope. Thank you for joining us this morning. Lots of good, hard racing again last Saturday night out at the Diamond in the Desert as the Pro Stocks, the IMCA Modifieds, the Fisher Automotive Street Stocks, the IMCA Northern Sport Mods, and the Napa Auto Parts IMCA Hobby Stocks all featured close quarters action in the Cocopah Speedway Racing Series. An off night tonight out at Cocopah Speedway, but still plenty to entertain us in the meantime as we'll recap last Saturday's action in just a moment, and we'll also be visiting with one of the men right in the thick of the extremely tight season-long battle in the Pro Stocks, Yuma's Joe Haines, driver of the 17Z machine. Joe's going to be joining us in just a few minutes as we look ahead to round number 6 of the 2014 Cocopah Speedway Racing Series. First, though, that final look back at last Saturday's action out at the Diamond in the Desert, where some repeat victors went to victory lane and one driver scored a 2014 breakthrough win. And getting that breakthrough win, it was Yuma's Bobby Horton driving the number 3 machine in the IMCA Modifieds. Horton, driving out of the 5-hole on the starting grid, battled with early race leader Kent Rosevear. Rosevear ultimately pulling off track with a steering issue. From there, Horton held off a determined bid by Brawley's Russell Allen in the 23R. Those two drivers swapping top time back and forth, lap after lap. Horton ultimately getting to the checkers first. Now, Horton had been seeing a number of earlier 2014 runs derailed by mechanical issues, but week after week, he said, he was coming in confident, and last Saturday, no exception.
Oh, yeah. Every change we were making with the car, it was getting faster and faster every race. We're just having parts failures with trannies and radiators, and everything we've been doing is getting faster. Finally, just nothing broke, and we finally finished it. And then that's what happens when you finish races. You got to finish first to win. So finally finishing them and won. So couldn't be happier.
Horton for the victory, which he dedicated in memory of his late mother. Allen close at the end for second, and Yuma's Chuck Hunt in the 22. Another strong run in the race for a third-place finish. In the IMCA Northern Sport Modifieds, a strong run by Yuma's Timmy Reese in the number 38 to score his second straight Sport Mod feature and third of the year overall. Reese working the high line in getting around the early leader, Imperial's Keith Smith, in the number 88. Reese then pulling away, only to see disaster nearly strike on the second-to-last lap with a brush of the outer wall coming off of turn number 4.
I was looking up at the flag guy and saw the white flag, lost my focus and looked, and that wall was coming fast. So I just hung on. I hit it hard, and I was expecting to get past, but I guess I had enough of a cushion that I pulled it off.
A couple of bent rims notwithstanding, Reese got to the checkers first with Smith second, and Holtville's Chris Toth in the 57 CT finishing third. Reese in the process taking over as the Sport Mod season points leader. The IMCA Hobby Stocks presented by Napa Auto Parts saw another driver go back-to-back, actually back-to-back-to-back, scoring his third straight win. Leonard Manos in the number 48 getting to the front early and motoring away for the win.
Yeah, you know, our Yuma Auto Glass Specialist Chevrolet ran really good. Did a little work on it during the week, and you know, we just keep plugging away at it. You know, I wasn't sure. Greg got up there on the inside of me on the start, and I was just praying if I could just get out front, you know, get some clean air, I'd be all right. And it all worked out.
Worked out indeed, to the tune of an extra $100 on top of the standing hobby stock purse. Manos claiming a bonus, which had been put up by one of his sponsors, Yuma Auto Glass Specialist, to any driver taking the IMCA hobby stock feature. Yuma's Brent Wofford in the number 27 took the second spot, with Yuma's Jason Beshears in the number 64 back racing after several weeks out with engine issues, taking the third position. Next up, the Pro Stocks, where Westmoreland's Brent Ashurst in the number 21 got to the lead early and then focused on running clean and smooth, hugging the apron to take the Pro Stock feature win.
Yeah, it's a patience game. team. You know, you want to go in faster every time, and the right thing to do is actually go in a lot slower and keep it tucked up. So it worked out for us. We seem to do really well on dry slicks. If we can, get some cars to move at the beginning and we can get in there, it seems to pan out our way. Glad it did tonight.
Ashers to the line first with Yuma's Brett Samala in the number 1 taking second, while Yuma's Steve Anthony in the number 14 took third. And finally, in the Fisher Automotive Street Stocks, Chula Vista's Manny Valdivias in the number 77 scored his second straight feature victory. Valdivias getting to the lead early, but it was definitely no runaway.
Yeah, Noriega, I was waiting for him. I kept on hearing after all the yellows, listening for his number because I knew he was going to be knocking on my door. And sure thing, the last couple of laps, he was right there.
Valdivia's victory was his third of the season overall. Noriega, meanwhile, in the number 35, took the second spot, with Yuma's Joey Essery driving the number 90 in third. And with that, we get set for action again next Saturday night, round number 6 of the 2014 Cocopah Speedway Racing Series. All 5 local divisions will again be taken to the clay at Cocopah Speedway. Tight points battles up and down the individual division rosters, and the action, as always, will be wheel to wheel again next Saturday night. And remember, main gates, as always, will open up at 5 with racing at 7 p.m. Well, coming up next here on Laptime Live, we're going to visit with a driver who sits third in the Pro Stock points going into action next Saturday. One win to his credit so far in 2014. It's Yuma's Joe Haines. He drives the 17Z, and he is set to join us next here on Racing Radio. Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, brought to you by Cocopah Casino here on Outlaw Country AM 1400.
It's Food City's 3-day sale. Now through Sunday, take advantage of these savings.
Big 10-pound bag of russet potatoes at $1.77 each. 73% lean ground beef is just $2.29 a pound, sold in the value pack. Doritos tortilla chips, just $1.67 each. Food City drinking water, 24-pack, just $1.99. And 8 pieces of fried chicken, $4.99 each. And Tecate Modelo beer, 12-pack, 12-ounce cans, just $8.99.
Food City, the store with low prices when you need them.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. If you want to win Diamondback tickets, there's more than one way to win. There's the usual way where you listen to Outlaw Country. Then there's another way. Just become a fan on the Outlaw Country Facebook page. We're always giving listeners chances to win prizes over there, too. Just search Outlaw Country.
Body aches, rashes, now my hair is falling out. I need some answers.
For answers, ask your doctor the right question. Could I have lupus? For answers, for support, for hope, visit couldihavelupus.gov.
Whether I'm training for a marathon, kickboxing, or lifting, I train to add muscle and build my inner strength. I am proud that I was born this way, driven. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. You can find me on a Coast Guard cutter, along with my shipmates, who are a lot like me, driven and committed to our country and the safety of our citizens. We were born for the Coast Guard.
If you were born ready, learn more at GoCoastGuard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
This message is from the Outlaw Country Promotions Department. You may win once every 30 days and only one winner per household. Winners must be at least 18 years old unless we tell you otherwise. Contests are open to everyone except staff of Outlaw Country, their immediate families, contest sponsors, and other media outlets. Prizes must be picked up within 30 days of winning and may be picked up during business hours at 949 South Avenue B. Copies of contest rules are available at the station or on our website, outlawcountry1400.com. Thanks for listening, and good luck from Outlaw Country.
Want to get it all? Then get CenturyLink high-speed internet. With speeds up to 12 megs, it's super fast and reliable. And it's just $19.95 a month when you bundle with unlimited nationwide calling. Plus, your monthly price won't change for 3 years. That's getting it all. So call CenturyLink at 855-907-FAST to get up to 12 meg internet today. Services and offer not available in all areas. Residential customers only. Restrictions apply. Contact CenturyLink for details.
Community matters to Z93 and Outlaw Country. On Saturday, April 26, 2014, over 30,000 participants, volunteers, and spectators from across the country will unite at Arizona State University's Sun Devil Stadium. Together, they will run, walk, and honor Pat Tillman's legacy while raising important scholarship funds to support Tillman military scholars, military veterans, and spouses who reflect Pat's values, strength of character, and commitment to service. To date, Pat Tillman Foundation has invested over $9 million in educational support for 290 Tillman military scholars at 85 academic institutions nationwide. nationwide. This year, make a difference by registering to run, walk, honor in our community. Yuma County and El Diablito ASU Alumni Chapter is honoring Pat Tillman's legacy right here in Yuma. The local event will be held at Smucker Park and Cocopah High School, located at 2930 South Avenue A. It will be a 4.2-mile run or walk. Check-in and pre-run events will begin at 7 a.m. For registration and additional details, visit alumni.asu.edu/chapters/Yuma or call Jesus at 246-1976. Community matters to Z93 and Outlaw Country.
You're listening to Racing Radio. It's Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino here on Outlaw Country, AM 1400. Once again, I'm your host, Mike Stanhope, looking ahead on this edition of Laptime Live to next Saturday's round number 6 of the 2014 Cocopah Speedway Racing Series. And joining us on the phone this morning, it's Yuma's Joe Haines, driver of the number 17Z Pro Stock. And good morning to you, Joe.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Hey, very good, Joe. Glad to have you on with us this morning here on Laptime Live. And, Joe, want to go back to your origins in racing here in Yuma. Big splash in the Pro Stocks over the past couple of years, but your beginnings here do date a little further back. Can you tell us how you first got involved?
Yeah, I got in the race, and I said the first year they came back, I heard about it, and I asked my dad and a buddy of mine, Lonzo, if we could build a car. By that time, there's only 3 weeks left, and we built an old orange Camaro that we had here at 78. It didn't look pretty, but it sure got us out there. You know, it only took us 3 weeks, but like I said, it didn't look pretty, but it ran.
And from there, things kind of took off and progressed. I understand that David White, during the process of getting the track reopened, had kind of encouraged you to get involved.
Yeah, he stopped by my shop. He heard I was interested in it. I made some phone calls back and forth with him to try to get some rules. And he's the one that pretty much got me in the right direction of how to build the car. And like I said, we went from there. After I got the rules from him, we kind of just, I guess we could call it, scrapped together a car in 3 weeks as quick as possible. And he did a tremendous job helping me get into it, though.
That's working pretty quick indeed to get yourself into a new race car and then on track within that short of a period of time.
Yes, sir, it was. It was a challenge. A lot of long nights and early mornings.
Well, so what would be your self-assessment of that first year of racing?
Oh, I was lost. But in racing, you're still kind of lost any way you look at it. They called me the ballerina because I like to spin out when I first got into it. A lot of jokes about how I used to race, but I mean, as you can see, my racing has progressed a little bit, and I'm a little bit better at it now.
I would say that certainly shows from results on the track. So with a little bit of a struggle, we'll put it that way, in the street stocks, what helped you make the decision to make the step on up to Pro Stocks?
There wasn't I really didn't have I would say, I had a push. Ryan Hancock, he helped me out. He kind of stopped by my shop one day and was like, hey, I think it's time you to get into a Pro Stock. I said, well, I don't have the money or time to really do both classes. He goes, well, you're going to sell that Camaro, and I'm going to help you get into a Pro Stock. And the next thing I know, his was sitting at my doorstep.
And did you get further help from Ryan after the car showed up on your doorstep?
Yes, I did. He was one of my biggest help getting into the Pro Stock division. He encouraged me. He helped me a lot, and the stuff I couldn't afford helping me get into it, get it going. But from there on out, Kent Roser stepped in, and he gave me a big hand. He's the one that kind of pushed me into driving it a little bit harder, as going from a Camaro and not really having to drive the car into actually having to physically drive a car like that with all the bars and shocks and tires being a lot different.
Back into full-time action for you here in 2014. Your schedule was just limited a little bit in 2013. Anything in particular that was holding you back last year?
Yeah, I struggled with motors there for a little while. I blew, I think it was 3 races in a row. We blew a motor every race, and finally I just didn't have the means or the funds to get a motor together. And Ralph Adams from AAA came in and said, hey, let's see what you got with these 3 motors. Let's put something together. And come to find out, we really didn't have much, but he was a big helping hand in getting me that piece I have in the car today. And it's still running strong, and I can't thank him enough. He did an awesome job in that motor for me.
So kind of a time to restock, reload, and again, the help of friends helping you to move forward.
Yes, sir. That's where a lot of it comes in, as friends and family and everybody kind of stepping up to help me get to where I'm at today. If I didn't have a lot of these people, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Like my father's a big one, Lonzo, Jeremy Caldwell's a big one to the 17Z today, Kim Reeves, Ryan Hancock. There's a bunch of them. Gordy Rivera, little Gordy helps out and encourages me a lot, you know. And Goober, they're all friends and family, and they keep me going.
Love that family aspect of racing, the relationships that are built, and the sharing of advice, knowledge, and parts as well.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, my biggest fans, my son Zayden and his mom Sandy, they encourage me every day to get out there, work on the car, and not be lazy. You know, kind of grow up a little bit and get started on something, and let's make it work. I can't thank her and my son enough.
You mentioned your son Zayden there, and you kind of carry a tribute to your son on the car, do you not, in the form of your number?
Yeah, that's he was born October 17th, 2011. 17 being the day he was born, and G for Zayden, you know, his name. The car is for him. It's driven by me, but it's his car. I mean, it's Daddy's room, but he loves that car to death.
Hey, that is also cool, and I've seen the big smile on his face out there at the track. One win for you so far in 2014. Last week out, maybe not the best run, but for the most part, you have been right there, if not at the front of the field. I mean, right there throughout this year so far.
Oh, yes, sir. We've this last weekend we struggled. We went to a rear end, lost my gears. I mean, they tornadoed the whole thing, and Brett Smala was kind enough to let me borrow one of his, and I don't know what happened. It was just a fluke deal. I don't know really what happened, but we lost that one, and I feel sorry. I'm going to have to help him out somehow, but I blew 2 rear ends last Saturday, and it wasn't really a good night for us.
Well, go ahead.
The car was fast. It was hooked up. We just mechanical issues, you know.
And that's what we just have to simply sit back sometimes and say, hey, that was racing that particular night.
Yes, sir. Gotta take a step back and regroup. And like I said, me and like Jeremy Caldwell are hammering down. I was trying to figure out why we lost 2 runs. He's been over here every night after work helping me out, and we're seeing where we can go. See if we can get back together and get us another win next weekend.
Studying up on those lessons, and we look forward to seeing you back in action next weekend. We're talking with Yuma's Joe Haines, driver of the number 17Z Pro Stock. He's our special guest today on Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live. Racing Radio here on Outlaw Country AM 1400 is brought to you by Cocopah Casino. We'll rejoin our conversation with Joe in just a moment.
Need to order stickers? Sign Pro can produce custom stickers with your logo or business information. Give them to your customers or label your equipment for a great professional look. That's Sign Pro, 783-7776, or stop by 1702 South Arizona Avenue. Sign Pro, where they are perfect to the letter.
Can't do better. The Sign Pro side. Alexa comes to Sign Pro.
The American Cancer Society's Relay for Life will be at Desert Sun Stadium on April 26th and 27th. Hi, I'm Rebecca Larson, the event chair. I invite you to get your teams together or join a team soon as the deadline is fast approaching. The American Cancer Society's Relay for Life is an overnight experience you'll never forget. We walk all night because cancer never sleeps. Last year, over 2,000 participants from 130 teams raised $250,000 to help find a cure for cancer. They made our Yuma, Arizona relay the biggest in the state of Arizona and New Mexico. Over 3,000 survivors came to our event where we celebrated survivors, remembered our loved ones that we have lost, and fought back to raise funds to find a cure for cancer. For more information, visit our website at www.relayforlife.org/YumaAZ to get started today. That's relayforlife.org/YumaAZ.
Here's
Captain Randy Hart of the Yuma Salvation Army.
One of the largest growing epidemics in this country is alcohol and substance abuse. For more than a century, the Salvation Army has been helping people overcome their addiction to alcoholism and drugs. We are also a shield, a support to the families of those who are caught in addiction. If you know someone who is struggling with addiction issues, please call 928-920-4534 and be a shield for someone in need in 2014.
This message is brought to you by the Salvation Army of Yuma and Outlaw Country.
Daddy, when are you coming home?
It can be difficult being a service member called for duty. That's why there's the Yellow Ribbon Reintegration Program. We help thousands of National Guard and Reserve members ensure their families are taken care of while they're away.
Daddy, you're home.
And when they return, we help with everything from job opportunities to financial planning. Learn more at yellowribbon.mil. A message from the Department of Defense.
At 30,000 feet, there's no room for error. To keep a modern fighter jet flying safely year after year requires a highly trained team of expert technicians and specialized equipment.
Echo 311 confirming final inspection. Roger that.
GMC certified service technicians take service and maintenance just as seriously.
And we'll do a full 27-point inspection.
Great, thanks.
With specialized GMC training and genuine parts for every GMC vehicle, you can be sure your GMC is always ready to take off. Incredible thinking, incredible service. GMC certified service. That's professional grade. For a limited time, get a $100 mail-in rebate debit card on a set of 4 select brand name tires. See participating dealer for eligible tire brands and details. Rebate form must be postmarked by June 30th, 2014. Allows 6 to 8 weeks for delivery of debit card. Offer ends May 31st, 2014.
It's Racing Radio here on Outlaw Country AM 1400. Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live presented by Cocopah Casino. And we are rejoined on the phone this morning by Yuma's Joe Haines, driver of the number 17Z Pro Stock. Thanks again for being with us this morning, Joe. And hey, just 8 points separating yourself and the other drivers at the top of the Pro Stock standings. Figure that to be a tight race all the way through the rest of the year?
Oh yeah, those guys they're going to be a handful. Brett Smalla and Brent Asher, they're going to be something to beat. Those guys have got a lot of years on me, and their equipment's good. I mean, as good or not better than mine, and they're going to be a handful.
You and the rest of the Pro Stock competitors have laid down some laps the past few weeks that have been among the fastest the Speedway has seen in a long, long time. Do you see more of that coming?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, everybody out there's got good eyes. Our cars are hooked up, you know? And once we get our cars hooked up, there's no stopping us. Like last weekend, my rear went out. I thought I had a fast car. I could have pushed it a little bit harder than I should have, but, you know, it was fast.
Let's talk driving styles for a moment, because often different styles do make for a lot of on-track excitement, and certainly distinctions between the way you approach racing as opposed to Asher, Stan Samala, who you both mentioned, among other competitors. How would you sum up your style?
Mine's kind of a unpolished driving style right now. I'm still kind of learning as I go. There's a joke around my shop. Jeremy, my buddy, he calls me Jamming Joe Haines because I'm jamming through those corners, you know. There's a lot of learning going on still in my style. Kent Roser is the one who's kind of guided me into driving the way I'm driving. He pushed me a little bit to that direction. Just don't be afraid of the cars. You got to have confidence in the way you drive and in your equipment. And if you don't got confidence in your equipment, you're not going to be able to be a good driver.
Well, that confidence certainly shows on the track. You mentioned the name Jammin' Joe Haines, and noting that you are definitely one to run the high groove. We note another nickname on the cowl over the windscreen on your car, the High Side Hustler.
Yeah, that's another nickname they gave me. Last year, towards the end of the season, that's all I ran was that high side. I got real comfortable up there, and just I could zing that car in there and not be afraid. But I can run the low line, I can run the high line. It's just wherever I feel the track's at that night.
Yeah, I was going to say that is a big distinction, too, in that all of your runs this season, we've seen you get down low and do very well down there.
Yeah, blowers is a harder group to work because, I mean, you're working for it. You've got a lot less momentum going into the low line than the high line. The high line I like. I mean, you can tell if you come look at my car, I've got brush marks where I rub the wall from getting so close to it.
Hey, racing on the ragged edge, and it is certainly exciting to watch. Hey, one other piece of news of sorts this morning. Word is out that you could be doing double duty next week, driving a modified in addition to your Pro Stock.
Yep, that's what it looks like. I've got to thank a couple people for that. Les Evans, which is a great guy. He's given me the opportunity to run one of his cars. Doug Rivera and Gordy, they're giving me the shot to drive that 32 modified vet car of theirs, but it's going to be now the 32Z.
Well, we're going to look forward to seeing you in action in that 32Z IMCA modified. Do you see a change in approach because you are going to a car that handles a lot different from a Pro Stock?
Oh, definitely. That 4-bar car, it's going to be a handful. I'm not expecting many right to the front. I mean, these guys that are running modified, they're the best of the best, and it's going to take some getting used to, but I think I can do it. I think I've got the drive to get that car around the track to make Les and Doug happy with the car and the way I finish.
Well, if fast history is any indicator, Joe, I'll bet you won't be long before you are running at the front. Hey, we talked about family, some of the folks who've helped bring you up to this point. Any special final thank yous you'd like to pass along this morning?
I'm sure there's people out there that I'm forgetting. Today, Chuck Hunt gave me a call and helped me out with the gear. I've got to thank him. My father, Jeff, my mom, Patty, my grandma, Lonzo, the guy that worked for me, Bob, Candy is a big help. We've got a new nose tube coming car because she bought it. My son, Zayden. A special thanks to Jeremy Caldwell because without that guy, that car wouldn't be out there every weekend.
Hey, it is all team, and Joe, we want to wish you the absolute best of luck next Saturday out at the Diamond in the Desert, and thanks so much for coming on this morning with us here on Laptime Live.
All right, thank you. If I forgot anybody, I'm sorry, but all the people that helped me, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All my sponsors.
Hey, we'll give them a shout-out out at the racetrack for you as well.
Hey, thank you, Mike. You have a good day.
Hey, Joe, you have a great one, too. Joe Haines, driver of the number 17Z Pro Stock, just one of the stars of the Cocopah Racing Series, getting locked and loaded for action next Saturday night around number 6 of the 2014 Cocopah Speedway Racing Series, 1 week from tonight at the Diamond in the Desert. As always, gates open up at 5 p.m. with racing hitting the clay at 7 p.m. And in the week ahead, make sure you stop by www.cocopahspeedway.com. You can take a look at the updated point standings, learn more about all the drivers in competition at Cocopah Speedway. You'll find lots of other specialized racing content as well, including a look ahead to the full 2014 schedule. You'll also find probably the easiest way to get into Cocopah Speedway right there on the website with the option for online ticketing. All of that and more at cocopahspeedway.com. And hey, be sure to like us on Facebook. Advanced tickets also available at the Cocopah Casino Gift Shop and at Yuma area Napa Auto Parts stores. Before we go this morning, today's updates on the Winter Heat Sprint Car Showdown coming the first 2 weekends in January 2015. The best wing 410 sprint car drivers from across the country set to descend on Cocopah Speedway for 4 intense nights of competition the first 2 weekends January 2015. The format for each night of the showdown has now been set, with competitors set to run a heat and a qualifying heat with passing points in play, determining the inversion for starting positions. What it all means? Well, drivers will all find themselves racing 2 heats and at least 1 feature each night, guaranteeing race fans lots of looks at their favorite drivers. Advance online ticket sales also now open for the Winter Heat Sprint Car Showdown, with advance purchases online only, also providing fans a limited pit pass good from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on each showdown event day. Details on all of that and more more, even easier to find now on the Cocopah Speedway website. Just click the brand new Winter Heat tab. All the information you'll need is right there at your fingertips. That's on www.cocopahspeedway.com. You can also follow the Showdown now on Twitter and on Facebook. You can find the Showdown on Twitter at twitter.com/Cocopah Showdown and on Facebook at facebook.com Winter Heat Sprint Car Showdown. Be sure to check back at least once a week on the Cocopah Speedway website for all the lowdown on the Showdown. We'd like to say thanks once again to Joe Haines, driver of the number 17Z Pro Stock, for taking time out of his busy day to talk with us here on Laptime Live, getting set for action next Saturday night in the Cocopah Speedway Racing Series. Again, gates will open up at 5, racing underway at 7 p.m. next Saturday out at the Diamond in the Desert. You've been listening to Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. We'll be back with more next Saturday morning, 11 a.m., here on Outlaw Country AM 1400.